Hey y'all, welcome back to Nana's Corner. Tonight we're going to make some lasagna, simple and easy. I've got a box of oven-ready lasagna. You can use the kind that you got to boil, no big deal. I've got about a little over 3.5 pounds of hamburger meat. A large jar of my favorite spaghetti sauce. You can use any kind that you want. I'm using traditional Prego, and this is 45 ounces. I want a small thing of ricotta cheese. I actually needed like 8 ounces, and this is 15 ounce, but I'm only going to use half of that. 1 egg, some sliced baby Swiss, some oregano, and some basil. Alright, I'm going to put this on medium-high heat and start browning the hamburger. While that's working on that, I will get a bowl. Get our ricotta mixture together. You know, I think I'm going to use the whole container. We'll just add an extra egg in there. Put a shell in there. Get the little yucky white stuff out. That attaches the yolk to the shell. I don't know what that crap is, but it's disgusting looking. Alright, mix this together. Got that on medium-high going. We don't have it sizzle yet. Incorporate the egg into this really good. One egg probably would have been okay. Not going to hurt it. Alright, you're going to put about half a teaspoon of oregano. And the same with basil. A little bit more of this one. Mix that. If you don't like ricotta, you could use a small curd cottage cheese and do the same process with the oregano, basil, and egg. Yeah, that second egg made that a little bit thinner than I like, but it'll still be okay. My grandmother used hunt spaghetti sauce. I think it was flavored with meat. But I noticed they changed the way it tasted a long time ago, and I switched over to Prego probably in the mid-2000s. And Grandma also used lasagna noodles that you had to boil, and I personally don't think there's much of a difference in the taste. So I use the oven ready. It's one less step. And besides when you boil the noodles, you get them out, sometimes they rip and tear, and it's just a pain in the butt. And she also added fresh onion, fresh green pepper, and red bell pepper. And the hamburger mixture was half hamburger and half sausage in her lasagna. Really good recipe. It's just, I like this basic recipe. My family enjoys this. They're not as adventurous with all the flavors of a traditional lasagna. But that's okay. This is still good. You're going to need a 9x11 casserole dish. I'm using one of my Pioneer Woman dishes. I think this is 70% or 73 or 75, hell, I can't remember, percent lean. I usually get the 80, but I don't think they had any when I went in yesterday. But that's alright. Once all this browns, I'll let it cook for another minute or two, and a lot of that grease will soak back up. And if it doesn't, we'll drain it. While that's finishing up, I want to finish a few dishes here. A little motivational thing in here. I could use all the motivation I can get. Don't like to clean. Bleach. My straws. Alright. I'm going to take a little container here. Paper towels down in it. So grease will soak most of that up. If you notice, there's not a lot of grease here. Barely any. Maybe about 2 tablespoons. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Now before you put that back on the side of your stove, you want to wipe your pan off just in case it got grease on it. You end up with a stove fire. And that, when it cools off, I will dump in the trash. I'm going to turn this back down on medium-low. Open up our spaghetti sauce. Know how to make homemade, that's fine too. If you know how to make homemade, you should know how to do this. Just kidding. I'm going to reserve a little bit of this spaghetti sauce. My little boy doesn't like lasagna, so I will boil some noodles for him to have spaghetti. I'm going to do the same thing with the oregano and the basil. About a half a teaspoon or a fourth maybe. Yeah, a fourth sounds about right. I just a light sprinkle across the top with those. But I always do just a little bit more basil than I do oregano. And last but least, some sugar. Get rid of the acidic and from the tomato. Trust the process there. I'm a little tongue-tired tonight. And voila. That tasted good already. Now I'm going to let that heat up. I'll just leave that right there for a moment. I'm going to get ready to start putting my stuff together. Let's see, I had a partial batch of these left. Leave the other one or not. I think it's about 4. I'm really short. because I opened this, I'm going to put it in a large Ziploc bag. Pasta and flour seem to attract little flour bugs. I've not had that problem since I usually have my stuff that I put away in a real Tupperware or do this. Now I usually only do 2 layers of noodles, and this should be 3 of the meat and then 2 of the sauce as well. Now back up on medium. Now we'll use all the baby Swiss here. You can use regular Swiss if you like that better. I prefer the baby Swiss. It's not as bitter as regular Swiss. And I do a weird little top off at the end with American cheese. That's just something that my grandma did, and I just kind of add that on mine. No, it's not really necessary to heat this all up again, the sauce. I do it anyway. This is going to take about 45-50 minutes in the oven at 350. Get the oven ready. I'm going to serve this with garlic bread and some sweet corn. Alright, let's see if we're getting hot. Yeah, we're getting warm. Alright, my sauce hasn't come to a boil, but it is getting hot. Excuse me. Like I said, I'm going to save a little bit of that sauce for my little boy. Oh, there goes the bubbles. You've got enough for leftovers as well. Alright, our first layer is going to be our meat sauce. Just enough to cover your pan, in case you can't see. And I'm going to put my noodles. This is going to overlap just a touch, about 1/4 of an inch, not by much. Alright, then we're going to do a layer of our thin ricotta. Don't do as I did. 1 egg would have been enough, and 15 ounce. It'll still be alright. Not like it gets solid again anyway. Well, when it's cold the next day in the refrigerator. And I'm just putting a thin layer on here as well. Maybe a little bit thicker than the meat, because you're only going to have 1 layer of or no, it's going to be 2 layers. I think I may need some more noodles. I might have miscounted there. Baby Swiss. I'm tired. Don't pay attention to me. Been a long day. This will hold 6 slices just perfectly. I usually just do 2 layers. I don't layer it all the way up to the top. But I think Yeah. And add just a little bit more on top of that. Not a lot, just a little bit. Dump the rest of that. Depending on how deep your pan is, you can keep going with your layers. And I'm going to top it off with the meat sauce. Or spaghetti, if you want to call it that. And that one I make a little thicker. You can do the same on the bottom, depends on, I'm not sure how much I'm going to have here. Usually it works out just right for a couple of layers. Normally, I take my Swiss cheese and double that that one layer, but I'm gonna put some on top instead this time because I can switch it up. American cheese. You can omit this if you want to. I think it tops it off just nicely. 6 slices. You can make this a smaller version and a smaller pan as well. Just reduce the recipe. By half. You want to top this off with some salt and pepper. Not a lot, just lightly. And the oven should be preheated about 45-50 minutes. And what we're looking for is for our noodles to be tender and a nice golden brown bubbling on top. You don't want to burn it, so check it around the 45 minute mark. Put her in the oven. And when she's done, I will be back and let you see how it looks. I'm going to show you a little trick with your spaghetti noodles. This is just for my little boy. Like I said, I take the noodle and break it in 3 sections. It's easier for the kids to eat. I didn't put no salt, no oil in it. Add a nice little dollop of butter. Tastes better than no oil to me. And it helps your noodles from sticking as well. It won't stick as bad and won't stay cool off either if you need to fix leftovers. Move it around until it's done here, or melted. Like I said, this is for my little boy. Should be more than enough to give him. Probably made too much, to be honest, but they'll at least get several servings out of that. Alright, the next thing that I'm going to do is get the lettuce ready for the salad. I had some that was starting to brown, so I'm going to do a fresh head. I've discovered if you take your lettuce and put it in an airtight container after you rinse it off, it'll last a lot longer. Alright, so what I'm going to do is unwrap this. So you can see me make sure. When I was a teenager, I worked at Wendy's, and my job was a salad bar every night. Alright, so you're going to take off that first layer, or any browning, throw it away. You might hear a cat meowing in a minute. I got a couple cats that love lettuce. Alright, take your core, get it down as hard as you can. It's about a good thumb length in. That's going to take out the part that's mostly not that great to eat. Just a little bit extra there. Tear that in half. Pioneer warm and nice. You want to rinse. Basically took a half and broke it in half again. Cold water. Making sure I get in between those layers there. I don't like the look of that. Kind of shaking the basket around a little bit. You are not right, cat. You really are not. Here. Here, Kitty. Silly cat. Alright, now you can tear your lettuce or cut it. I usually cut it when we're having tacos. But since we're having salad here, I'm just going to tear it in small pieces. Besides rinsing it and getting any dirt or any possible bugs that might have been in your lettuce, if the water, excuse me, not if, helps rejuvenate the lettuce, and it gives it more of a snapback, more crispy. And tomorrow you'll notice it might expand just a little bit more in your container. It's got a nice snap. Let's see if you can hear it. And this will last in this container for the majority of the week, and sometimes a little bit longer, depending on your temperature in the refrigerator. This is Temptations, and what I did, I just let the air out, so it's got a nice little vacuum seal. It's not perfect, but it does a pretty good job. And I'll be back as soon as the lasagna ready. Still waiting on it to finish up. Alright, my garlic bread's done. I did that in a toaster oven in about 10 minutes at 350. I'm going to fix a can of corn. And my stupid light is on. Oh no, that's cream corn. Ain't having that. We're gonna have this. Oh my lord. This Pioneer woman, y'all, if anybody has bought this, let me know how long yours lasted. The last one I bought only lasted a couple of months. And then it just, gears busted right off. That was a little disappointing. The only thing that I've had that wasn't crazy about it. I'm going to drain my juice. My corn on the cob, I drain my juice, add about a spoonful of butter. Now, a tablespoon of butter there. I don't really need that much. I'm not adding any salt here. A little bit of pepper. Sugar. Just a nice little sprinkling. And when the butter melts, that'll go down through. Three minutes in the microwave. Lasagna is ready. This ended up taking about 40 minutes. Maybe I'll take a little bit longer before, just I guess depends on what mood my oven's in for the day. Alright, let's cut into it and see. We're tender. The only bad thing about putting the cheese on the top, you want to, I'm OCD and I want to cut exactly where the, the lines are, but you end up with too big of a piece here. Try not to tear the cheese with a sharper knife. Oh, come on, cheese. Try not to make a mess of it. Yeah, I can tell the noodles are done. Alright, I'm going to let this set for about 15 minutes before we get around to eating it, because and then I'll plate it and let you see what it looks like. Otherwise, if you take it out when it's this hot, your sauce and everything is literally going to be a sloppy mess and go all over the place. But if you let it sit for about 15 minutes, 20 max, it's still going to be hot, don't worry. It'll come out good on your serving utensil. Alright, be back in about 15. Alright, moment of truth. This was not 3 pounds. It was actually 1.5 pounds. It was 3 something in price. I was reading that backwards earlier. And there we go. I'm going to do a little taste test. Since I was worried about that layer of ricotta being on the thin side. That was a different brand. I'd never used Walmart before. Yeah, it looks fine. See, it's thickened up. Bon appetit. I hope you enjoyed this video. And thanks for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel out.